The next characters in Matthew's Passion narrative that we'll reflect upon are those in so-called authority. So that's Caiaphas, the high priest, and the chief priests and the elders from the Jewish perspective, and then Pilate as the governor from the Roman perspective. And they both are having to deal with the same kind of external pressures, that desire to keep the peace and the status quo. They are afraid of anything changing and losing a little bit of the tiny amount of power that they have already. So Caiaphas, understandably, first of all, I have to say he would be offended by some of the things that Jesus is claiming, because Caiaphas is still a devout Jewish man, and if someone is claiming to be the Son of God, or at least it seems he is, then Caiaphas understandably is outraged at that. But he also doesn't want someone claiming that because of a potential uprising. He's happy with things as they are. As I said, the little bit of power that he already has, the status that he has in society, he doesn't want to lose that. He's afraid of losing control. So he needs to get rid of this person who is a potential threat, a potential cause of an uprising which will make Rome be stricter and clamp down possibly on the Jewish way of life and take away some of those extra freedoms that the Jewish people were granted at that time. And then again, Pilate as the governor, he is always living with the shadow of the emperor behind him and the empire looming over him. He's been sent to Judea, and it was not one of the most highly sought after posts, to be honest, at that time. If you were sent to be governor of Judea, you knew you had a difficult job on your hands because of all these tensions, all these potential uprisings and riots and revolutions that were rumoured to be taking place. It was all about keeping the peace to look good in the emperor's and the empire's eyes. So Pilate's always got that in the back of his mind. And even his wife comes into Matthew's account and warns him, saying, just stay away from this man, it's too much trouble, don't risk anything. And then when he sees the riot is imminent, when the crowd are being whipped up by the chief priests and the elders, demanding Jesus to be crucified, he washes his hands and tries to deny responsibility. And then that's how the whole execution of Jesus takes place. Because an important point to remember is that it shouldn't have taken place then, because it was the Passover, there shouldn't have been a trial, it was breaking all sorts of rules, and that's something for you to investigate further if you're interested in that point. But in the end, these characters, the powers, so-called powers and authorities, actually are quite weak because they are afraid of even higher powers and authority, and those external pressures led to the execution of Jesus.